as the requirements of the position. Prohibition is wholly negative. It is a command not to do. Injunction is now often so used, especially as the requirement by legal authority that certain action be suspended or refrained from pending final legal decision. Compare array, class, law, prohibit, system. Antonyms: allowance, consent, leave, liberty, license, permission, permit. Ostentation. Synonyms: boast, boasting, display, flourish, pageant, pageantry, parade, pomp, pomposity, pompousness, show, bount, bunting. Ostentation is an ambitious showing forth of whatever is thought adapted to win admiration or praise. Ostentation may be without words, as the ostentation of wealth in fine residences, rich clothing, costly equipage, or the like. When in words, ostentation is rather in manner than in direct statement, as the ostentation of learning. Boasting is in direct statement, and is louder and more vulgar than ostentation. There might be great display or show with little substance. Ostentation suggests something substantial to be shown. Pageant, pageantry, parade, and pomp refer principally to affairs of arms or state, as a royal pageant, a military parade. Pomp is some material demonstration of wealth and power, as in grand and stately ceremonial, rich furnishings, processions, etc., considered as worthy of the person or occasion in whose behalf it is manifested. Pomp is the noble side of that which as ostentation is considered as arrogant and vain. Pageant and pageantry are inferior to pomp, denoting a spectacular display designed to impress the public mind, and since the multitude is largely ignorant and thoughtless, the words pageant and pageantry have a suggestion of the transient and unsubstantial. Parade, Latin paro, prepare, is an exhibition as of troops in camp, going through the evolutions that are to be used in battle, and suggests lack of earnestness and direct or immediate occasion or demand. Hence, in the more general sense, a parade is an uncalled for exhibition, and so use is a more disparaging word than ostentation. Ostentation may spring merely from undue self-gratulation. Parade implies a desire to impress others with a sense of one's abilities or resources, and is always offensive and somewhat contemptible, as a parade of wealth and learning. Pomposity and pompousness are the affectations of pomp. Antonyms: diffidence, modesty, quietness, reserve, retirement, shrinking, timidity, unobtrusiveness. Ought. Synonym: should. One ought to do that which he is under moral obligation or in duty bound to do. Ought is the stronger word, holding most closely to the sense of moral obligation, or sometimes of imperative logical necessity. Should might have the sense of moral obligation, and may apply merely to propriety or expediency, as in the proverb, "The liar should have a good memory," that is, he will need it. Ought is sometimes used of abstractions or inanimate things as indicating what the mind deems to be imperative or logically necessary in view of all the conditions, as these goods ought to go into that space. These arguments ought to convince him. Should in such connections would be correct, but less emphatic. Compare duty. Oversight. Synonyms: care, charge, command, control, direction, inspection, management, superintendence, supervision, surveillance, watch, watchfulness. A person may look over a matter in order to survey it carefully in its entirety, or he may look over it with no attention to the thing itself because his gaze and thought are concentrated on something beyond. Oversight has thus two contrasted senses, in the latter sense denoting inadvertent error or omission, and in the former denoting watchful supervision, commonly implying constant personal presence. Superintendence requires only so much of presence or communication as to know that the superintendent's wishes are carried out. The superintendent of a railroad will personally oversee very few of its operations. The railroad company has supreme direction of all its affairs without superintendence or oversight. Control is used chiefly with reference to restraint or the power of restraint. A good horseman has a restless horse under perfect control. There is no high character without self-control. Surveillance is an invidious term, signifying watching with something of suspicion. Compare care, neglect. End of section 45.